With last week's fanfiction regarding the timeline change if Yoda went to Mustafar with Obi-Wan to kill Anakin, I saw many of you wanted me to cover this video today. What if Obi-Wan went with Yoda to fight Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith? If this were to happen, it would change many things, taking quite a different turn than the previous fanfiction, and especially, of course, the original timeline. As Yoda and Obi-Wan walked through the raided Jedi Temple in horror as they surveyed the many bodies of lifeless Jedi Masters, Padawans, and younglings scattered throughout, they checked the security tapes to find out who was behind this horrific slaughter. Seeing that it was indeed Palpatine, the unveiled Sith Lord, and his new apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, Yoda and Kenobi would talk to devise their plan. Yoda would tell him how he was no match for Sidious and that he would die a gruesome and painful death. The two knew what they had to do. They would either unite their abilities and go to fight Anakin or Sidious. Choosing to take out the most dangerous first, they readied themselves to go to Palpatine's office. Entering his room unexpectedly, as Yoda put his guards to rest, Palpatine would turn to him and say,
"Master Yoda, you survived."
Surprised?
Where Palpatine would walk towards them and fire a quick blast of Force lightning at Yoda, who flew to the wall.
Your arrogance blinds you, Master Yoda. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Where Obi-Wan would ignite his lightsaber, ready for the Dark Lord's next move. The heat on Mustafar was scorching hot. As Padme ran down to hug her husband, he looked at her with happiness. As they conversed about the things that he had done, she would tell him that he was taking a path that she could not follow. Jumping to conclusions, Anakin would assume Obi-Wan was feeding her lies. His anger would be subdued by her reinforced love to tell him to leave this place and run away with her. Confident in his powers, he would tell her,
"I am more powerful than the Chancellor. I can overthrow him."
Where Padme would only reply in refute, telling Anakin that she needs him, that their baby needs him. This would bring Anakin's emotions more to a level standard, as in the end it was Luke's love for his father that brought him back after everything Vader did in his life. Surely now it would have been easier with Padme there and their unborn child. Disagreeing with Anakin and everything he had done and the new person that he had turned into, she pushed him away and ran to her ship, shutting the door and speeding off into the galaxy as fast as she could. Jumping into his ship with R2, Anakin followed her to Coruscant. Yoda got up and attacked Sidious, who lunged at Obi-Wan just in time to block a killing strike. Obi-Wan was a master of Sorsu, if not the master, able to defend against anyone's attacks, even Sidious. However, he knew he couldn't do this without Yoda. As the two would fight with insane speeds, Obi-Wan attempting to keep up, Palpatine would look to Obi-Wan with a smirk. Yoda would feel the darkness loom over them like an angry cloud building energy. Sidious coiled himself like an animal about to attack as he twirled in the air at alarming speeds, his lightsaber out in front of him like a spinning drill of fire towards Obi-Wan's stomach. Yoda jumped in the air and yelled for Obi-Wan to take the strike as Kenobi thrust his lightsaber through Palpatine's heart. Moving it out through his shoulder, two bodies hit the floor. The most powerful Force beings in the galaxy had fallen. Yoda laid staring at Obi-Wan, gasping for air, as he smiled and told him to carry on the ways of the Jedi, to not be sad of his sacrifice, as he was too old anyways. Obi-Wan's eyes filled with tears as he looked at the little green Grand Master, remembering everything he did for the Order. He led a life of selflessness, of peace, and harmony. His sacrifice would not go in vain. Stumbling to his feet, he looked up at the door to see Padme crying. Running towards him as they hugged each other, she told him everything he said was true, that Anakin had changed and turned to the dark side. Obi-Wan, wiping the tears off her cheeks, felt cold chills immediately crawl up his spine. He looked to the door. He had never seen such anger, such rage, such hatred. Anakin stood at the door with yellow Sith eyes glowing in the fully lit room. Anakin didn't say a word. He lifted his hand and Force pushed Padme with such power, she flew to the wall behind Obi-Wan and hit her head, falling to the floor, unconscious. Everything fell silent. The sound of the lifeless bodies in the temple left room only for the wind to howl through their robes. As Anakin leaps into the air towards Obi-Wan, igniting the blue fire from his lightsaber. Okay guys, I'm gonna stop it right here. I want you all to help me write part 2, and the winner will win a graphic novel. Does Obi-Wan kill Anakin? Does Anakin kill Obi-Wan? Or does something else happen that I can't think of? Let me know below and I'll make part 2 for you tomorrow or the day after, if you so wish. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to read your take on part 2. Leave this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory. Until then, remember,
The Force will be with you. Always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.